We've all been there, haven't we? We've been tidying up or clearing stuff away or moving, and we find something we've completely forgotten about. And that is what I've just done. I was just tidying up some stuff. I saw this box. I thought there's something in there, and there's a little project I forgot to do last year. But that's fine, because guess what? We can do it now. In this box is, well, you know what it is, because I've put it in the title. It's a riced out FF03 from Tamiya. It does look pretty good. If you're a bit of a JDM or a Honda fan, you'll probably like the look of this. It does look pretty cool. JDM slammed. Awesome. I think I bought it on Facebook, maybe someone called Kez, I don't know. It looks so cool like that. It's a shame to do what I'm gonna do to it. What are you gonna do to it, I hear you ask? Well, about 4 years ago, I held the record for a little while of the fastest front wheel drive Tamiya unofficially in the world, and that was only about 50 odd mile an hour. It's been beaten a few times now. So I want to make this into another front wheel drive Tamiya speed car. I want to beat my 50 odd mile an hour, which I think is going to be relatively easy now. I know a little bit more than I did 4 years ago. I'm not sure I can beat the current record, because I'm sure it's like 90 odd mile an hour. I've not looked while I'm recording this, but I will have a look. What I want to do is see how far I can push this front wheel drive Tamiya and see what I can get my new record to. After we've beaten my initial 50 whatever it was, I'm going to put a target speed of 80 mile an hour. The first thing we need to do though is have a quick look at this to see if we need any new bits and pieces for it, because I can't remember what condition it's in. I only just remembered buying it. So underneath, I've just remembered actually when I first got this, it's got carbon fibre bits, bumper support or whatever that is there. Also got a carbon rear shock tower, sway bars. Oh, this is looking good. It's got a nice little engine. That's aftermarket as well. That's not standard, is it? A little motor cover. That's alloy. Metal painted in there. What are they? Metal. Yeah, they're metal. They're alloy. Adjustable turnbuckles all over it. This is actually, I don't know what comes stock with these FF03s, but it's looking like it's mostly there. We've got a steering servo. No motor, so we'll find a motor in a minute. This, what I want to do is just get it running, do a bit of a shakedown with that body on it, these wheels on it. I did find, I must have already bought some bearings for it. It's probably got bearings all round. If it's got all these other hop-ups on it, I expect it has got bearings. But I think what we need to do, let's find a motor. Let's find a brushless setup just to give it a shakedown. Probably change that servo as well. Yeah, let's get a brushless setup. Let's change the servo, and then let's give it a bit of a run. See what we're working with. This is my little spare motor box and ESCs over here. It's an old Tamiya one. We don't want that. Brushed. Max 10. Max 10. That's probably a bit overkill. That's definitely overkill. Come on. There we go. What's this one? That is a cheap eBay jobby, but should do the job. Is it 60 amp? Yeah, we'll use that. Now, motor, I saw that one. There we go. What we got there? What's that one? 3,900. Possible. But what else we got in here? Just ink. What's that one? That is off of the WR8. That's probably a bit too much at the moment. I don't want to give that ESC much strain. That's too much. 5.5 turn. That's the same, I think. Yeah, 5.5 turn V10. Good motors, but again, probably too much for that ESC. I don't think that's going to fit. That'll do. That will do. That should work in there, so we'll get that in. And as for servos, I've just got these through. These are, is it Demond? Probably Diamond, but they didn't want to get any copyright on that, so Demond. These are, that's definitely too much. Got, what we got here? Yeah, that one, I think. That one, 35. That's 50. Way too much. 60. Yeah, these are definitely too much. That is probably way too much for it. 35 kilo. We do not need that much in there. But I want to see. It looks fast. It says 0.06. That's probably at max voltage, and you'll probably find that's kicking out 6 volts. So anyway, we're going to fit that just as a trial. We might keep it in there, but it's probably a bit overkill. Servo, motor, ESC. Let's clear out all the old stuff. Let's make sure nothing's going to fall off it. Get that fitted, get it out, give it a quick blast. And I haven't driven a front wheel drive since my Mini, which has been sat up here since lockdown, probably 2020. when I broke the chassis. I have got a new one though. That's been sat there for a long time. So we've come to a bit of a stop. We've got an issue. Like I said, this is way over the top, and it got there's a restriction on the steering. I'll show you in a minute. But because it got stuck, when I tried to turn it, it pulled the servo fixing out of here. Anyway, we are fine turning in that direction, but when we go that way, it stops there. I mean, you can't see very well without the tyres on, but if I turn that, you can see particularly that angle there. It's quite a decent amount. It's still not good, but it's a decent amount. Whereas if I turn that way, look, there's hardly anything there. It gets stuck. You can force it past, just not without tyres. I can force it past, but it gets stuck. Just see that, like that. So there's a restriction in there somewhere, so I'm going to have to strip all this top end down to try and find it. Oh dear. But anyway, we've got the brushless in. We've got the ESC in, and it is working. I've tested it on the bench, but then I found that steering issue, so we kind of come to a stop. So I'm going to fix that, try and find out what the problem is. And then once I've done that, we should be ready to give it its first shakedown. So I found the problem. Let me see if I can show you. On here, just on this bit, the top of the turnbuckle just there is rubbing on there. It's okay on the other side. So it's okay on this side, but it's rubbing on there. So I'm just going to take a bit of that material away there, take a tiny bit off the top of the turnbuckle there, and hopefully it should clear it. That's the plan anyway. I don't know whether, I think the turnbuckles have maybe been put on afterwards, so I don't think they've been fitted wrong. It's just a bit of a clearance problem there. So I'm going to sort that out, then we're going to try it again, and hopefully that'll fix it. We are done. We are ready for the shakedown. So managed to sort out the clearance problem. I also had to space out the servo a bit, change the position of the arm just to make it a little bit smoother. We've still not got loads of steering angle, but it is front wheel drive, so once you get the hang of it, it does kind of pull itself around the corner a bit, but still I think we need to work on that steering before I go for any crazy speeds. ESC is on. I'm not convinced it's doing that well, but the wheels are spinning and the steering works, so let's give this little ricer a bit of a run. Switcher on. So steering, it's not too bad. I think it's probably running on like 6 volts at the moment, whereas it will run a higher voltage. But it's not getting stuck now, but as you can see, it is rubbish. And there you go. The throttles, it's a bit random. It's a bit of a delay on it, but it should be good for a bit of a blast around. I suppose we should try and give it a lap around the TIT, the Tomley indoor test track, and then we'll take it out and see how fast it is. Come on, you little ricer. Yeah, not much grip. Oh, front wheel drive. You have to slow down, power around the corner. Yeah, we ain't got the steering angle for this, although it's pretty quick. These Civics are really popular, aren't they? They definitely hold their value as well. I've seen some crazy priced ones. Anyway, let's take this thing out, see how fast it is. Right, let's give this thing a speed run. I have changed the front wheels because I really do actually like them wheels, so I didn't want to trash them, and the tyres weren't glued on. Whereas this has got glued on tyres, so we'll just wait for the GPS to, oh, hello. Why aren't we? Come on. That ESC is crap. Or the motor, one or the other. Whoa. Whoa. What was that? So fast I lost my scuttle panel. It sits really low. Right, anyway, this road's relatively smooth. What do you reckon? I'm usually pretty good at guessing, so I'm going to go with, I don't know, what is it? 2S 380 kV, geared relatively high. I'm going to go for 30 mile an hour, you know. I'm going for 30. Here we go. Oh, that's pretty quick, actually. That might be more than 30. It's all over the place. That is full throttle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Something come off, but I think we'll be all right. Uh-oh, that rear tyre. Rear tyre. Yeah, that's not going to help, is it? And I didn't realise that tyre was off. I've trashed the wheel. Why didn't I change the rear wheels? You absolute donut. Ugh. Anyway, how fast was that? I guessed 30, didn't I? That wasn't flat out though. I promise I have not run this yet. That was the first one. Got it spot on again. I think we were good for about probably 32 or 33 because that was not full throttle. Let's give it another go. Full throttle. Ah! No, I've done it again. I'm only 5 minutes away from my workshop. We're going to go and change them wheels. Quick switcheroo. We've now got some normal tyres glued on the back. Let's see if we can get more than, we should be able to get more than 30 as long as it's stable. Now I remember why front wheel drive was so hard to get going fast. They're so twitchy. Come on. Ah! So twitchy. I think the diff needs sorting out as well because it's definitely pulling to one side, like when you go full throttle. Right, that's full throttle. Yeah. Try and get full throttle coming past without crashing. There you go, full throttle. Yeah, there we go. Right. Okay, we didn't get any more than 30, but 30 mile an hour. Shakedown test, let's go and give it a bash about, just make sure nothing else is going to fall off. And then we'll have a quick chat about the future of this front wheel drive speed car. It's quite nice sometimes to drive a front wheel drive RC car because it just does give you a slightly different experience. This little ricer's pretty good. So there we go, that is the shakedown of the project. I don't want to say project world's fastest FF03. Everyone says everything's the world's fastest. I'm trying to stay away from that for a while. But this is end of part one of my project FF03 speed car. Ugh. I lost steering, the servo horn. Did it come off or round? Oh no, it just fell off. So servo horn come off, but looking at it, I think it actually survived. Everything seems okay. So part two, I'm going to completely strip this down. We're going to rebuild the front end. I'm going to have a look at the diff in there. You can get a ball diff for these, so I'm probably going to get a ball diff because front wheel drive cars are really hard to keep them in a straight line at any kind of speed. The back gets really twitchy and I'm going to have to make sure this back's dialed in because that's going to be the important bit, stopping it from doing that. You saw it a little bit, even at 30 mile an hour, so a little bit twitchy. I've already got bearings that we spoke about, bought some Yeah Racing oil shocks. I think they're friction on there, so got some shocks, got some bearings. I've got a Protoform Europa body shell and it does say on there front wheel drive. I bought that at the same time as getting that. So new body, new shocks. I'm going to get a complete new motor system. I'll probably keep that servo in there because that servo was pretty good. It does need more voltage, I think, though, to make it a bit quicker, but we're going to keep that servo in. Don't know what motor to get, so we'll have a look at that. But that's all going to be in part two, so if you enjoyed this one, and if you're a Tamiya fan like me, make sure you stay tuned for part two, which are probably knowing me will be in about 10 years' time. Summer's on its way, so I'm definitely going to get this done for speedrun season. I'll see you next time.